I had accidentally fallen asleep, and so I missed most of the first game of the KTL. Oh, and my assets are all over the shop today. Okay, yeah, so I missed the first game, most of the first game of the adaptive game. Probably should write that in the bio. But so far, we're pretty close in game. Not Tonight is on the top, and Alberto Carlos is at the bottom. Not Tonight is playing a Worlds Collide deck, it seems, and Alberto Carlos is playing a Mass Mutation. Normally, I would have had something. Did have something prepared, somewhat, but since we're already in the game, we're just going to go with what we're going with, and we'll see how we go in getting just some bit more information going. I feel a bit stupid not having my things sorted, but that's okay. We can deal with it. Alberto Carlos just played Ghost Hawk to get that draw from the archive from Chronos and to read with both those Logos cards and playing the top card of the deck. Playing a Discombobulator here is a useful card somewhat. The only issue is, from what I know about Not Tonight's deck, is the stealing is really only in Cutthroat. So let's have a look at that. The stealing's really only Cutthroat research. But it doesn't matter because it's an adaptive game. So if she ends up winning this game or not, it's all about trying to win that third game and trying to make sure they win. Yeah, they can beat Alberto with his own deck. But there's 6 cards in archives, and it's only one more above. So yeah, no, I had a feeling that Pit may have been an issue though. I'm assuming she has one extra archive that she can try to get to. I mean, honestly, if she goes into Logos, she could probably get some draw power from the Titan Guardian. Let me just get Alberto's deck as well. Also known as Athept. And Athept, this is what Athept looks like. Very quick, lots of decent amber generation, not a lot of pips, but consistent amber generation across the board. And so it kind of just does the same thing each game. Good trade control, good amber artifact control. Ah, that Cutthroat. That's what I said. Wait a second. Could she not have fought off the Discombobulator? Oh, did something last turn prevent fighting? No? Oh, that's cool. So not going so aggressive. That was a cool line. Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, she's not out of it. There's no way. Like, and the good thing about her position is that, as we can see, there's only 3.2 amber control, and they're all on creatures that kind of want to die or use things, so it's kind of it. That should be game. I apologize again for not getting the games in when I was meant to, but this has at least got most of, not most, the end of game 1, and then we'll hopefully have, I hope to have a third game, because that's more exciting when it's like the NBA playoffs at the moment. We had like, out of the 8 games over the last 2 days, I'm pretty sure 7 of them were blowouts and 1 was close. And it's just like not exciting to have blowout games, but it's really exciting to have those close ones. especially between OKC and Pelicans. Just, I think it's afternoon. That was a really close game. They only just managed to win by 2 points, OKC. Maybe there's a key cheat. No key cheat. Unfortunate. I'm not really sure what is possible from this point. Like, most of the all those other creatures are to be destroyed. They're not in the discard pile. There's one lot of amber control. If we look back at the deck, Demo Alien, Demo Bot, which Demo Bot's in Logos, and then Demo Alien is the one in Star Alliance. I never know which one's which. And then Crewman Yorga, which again can't be played, or is not played on the board, needs to be used. It's a tricky match because there's one deck that's clearly a Crush-like style deck, which is Athep's deck. And then we've got Not2night's deck, which seems a little bit more on the control side, but still quite quick. Like 16 pips is very significant. It's kind of cool. Nicely done. Well done to Not2night for winning that first game. I'm glad I managed to catch the end of it. I can't believe I missed it. I'm just like... It's just that games aren't normally like planned for this time of my day because my time zone is just really not Keyforge friendly in most of the world. So right now I would assume that it's good because it's the morning in Europe, maybe. Because Athept or Alberto, I believe, is from Portugal, and then Not2night's from Poland. Poland? How is Poland? Yeah. Is that correct? I believe so. Buddy. Okay. Wow. Exciting news. So I'm really been blessed to have been a part of the Keyforge Team League Season 1 in a different way. I didn't join as a player, but I joined as the head of the media team. And I've just had such a blessing in having some incredible content creators that's helping out and getting this commentary for this league. It has been a little tricky to get the top cut stuff sorted. I need to be find a better structure for next season, and that's something that we can learn from. The regular season I felt worked really well. Only hiccup was that we were probably a week behind on most weeks, and I still need to get some content out for week 5, which will still come out. I'm still good at talking with the content creators that were busy at the time because we had the Vault Tour, so it was very tricky to ask those people to do extra work that week, and it'd be better for me if I had planned the content creators around the Vault Tour game. And it's not like I couldn't have done that, it was more that it just was something I just didn't foresee, because not living in the US, or it's a bit difficult to keep track of those sort of things. But here we've got Athept going straight out with using some tributes, not capturing any amber, but just getting them for the pips, playing out some big bodies and asking Not2night to give some sort of response, because if the Paraguardian can start to fire in the warding side of things, then it can be a little tricky. Not2night going back into Logos, taking advantage of the board that was left and probably playing through a few extra cards in hand. Gets the Reap off from Sacrobot to get some more efficiency, discarding a teleport to Sheaf. gets the mutagenic serum, which also has a drop here, even more efficiency in getting to archive a card with Chronos. For those who don't know, every time you play a drop pip, Chronos allows you to archive a card from your hand afterwards. And yes, that stacks with other Chronos, which is pretty cool. I think she's deciding which card to archive so that she can plan for future turns, because she knows that her deck has the answers to the quick efficiency in Amber, so it's about how to craft those hands to get ready for future turns. And she just goes for the Amber, knowing that the deck that she's playing can't control the Amber on the board, so she's just trying to push as much as possible. Like she said before in the chat, she said that she is very comfortable with these kinds of decks. Her favorite deck, Rector, is very much like this. No Amber control, decent efficiency, decent creature control, decent Amber gen. And so she's very comfortable in this position, so we'll see how Alberto responds. Going into Star Alliance, there is a little bit of efficiency in Star Alliance from what I remember. Oh, nope, that's not true. I apologize. Probably coming in to play just some pips, perhaps kill off the creatures on the board, and making that Odoak even stronger. Both players pushing, but no one really going towards any key at this very moment. It's going to be a bit of a push and shove to see which player can push ahead. Not tonight, hoping to push a bit faster because knowing that the Amber control is limited. Wow, left the Logos board free and available, but not tonight. Making that decision a little bit difficult though, because you want to try to get through the deck and get through the hands, but how can you deny 3 creatures, especially when one of them allows you to draw and discard a card? Definitely a hard decision to make. Perhaps the hand is all targeted towards a specific house, maybe Untamed if she just discarded the Tink last turn. But yeah, we're hoping to next season bring back some more streaming. Hoping to do similar levels of content creation. Maybe bring in some new members. See if we can build that team and even maybe bring some assets even. There's possibility for that to happen. But Not Tonight has gone into Star Alliance. Played a Subdue, perhaps to... Oh yeah, she's stunning the Logos card because Logos hasn't been called, so which is an interesting way to play because it limits the choices that Alberto Carlos can go for. She chooses to go to Star Alliance, which doesn't get her into a check position. Logos would have gotten her in a check position, but I think she's perhaps setting up for a nice Untamed turn. Doing a little bit of handcrafting. We've got a Demo bot on the board, which is the one that if it fights, it gets to look at the top 3 cards, draws 1, keeps 1 on top, discard, puts 1 on the bottom of the deck, I believe, or is it discard 1? Put 1 on your hand, yep, leave 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Which also has Destroyed, Steal. It's a good time for Alberto Carlos to kill it. Because while they've got the Odoak on board. Definitely interesting choice here. There's probably a bit of hesitancy to go into Saurians because there is a good Logos turn. There doesn't appear to be any creatures coming down, otherwise that's a wasted ward onto the Odoak without other creatures. Playing only one card here, but it's an Imperium, which is a fantastic value. Warding out that board and giving him a pit, putting him into a check position with the only form of amber control coming from creatures and mostly from steel right now, which sadly is closed off by the Odoak. It's like we thought before, she was building up for an Untamed turn, but she only played three cards, only played 3 cards, so a little surprising that, again, as to what she perhaps drew from that Star Alliance turn. Maybe it was a Logos and Star Alliance cards. But also, she has made a 10 power Kronos, which, if we check the deck, there is still a significant number of draw pips left to gain value from. So not a bad option at all. Wow. Alberto wild wormholing into Tribute, getting that much needed amber control for this turn. Logos perhaps was going to do it anyway, but that's just value that it's really difficult to stop. Really giving Alberto quite an advantage into this, with this current game state and perhaps the future of this game. Propelling him right into a position for a game 3. It's interesting though, these decks kind of looked evenly matched, especially when we saw the end of that first game. So being not2night, the controller of the Worlds Collide deck of Dransder, I don't know how to say that, I'm not going to try to say it, but being the controller of that deck means she's going to have a lot more say into how many chains it will have in the final game. Yeah, but it's not over yet. It's just a very difficult position to be in when you're behind a key and you only have amber control through very limited ways. Finally going into that Logos turn that I spoke of a few turns before. But I'm not the master of these decks or the plays of these games. Trying to get out those creatures which allow for the not2night to destroy to get some amber control. Sadly, at the moment, the Odoak is still a problem. Oh, playing Bouncing Death Quark. She will hopefully be able to kill off both the destroyed effects and the Odoak, allowing to steal 2 cards this turn. What a play by not2night. And then steal 1 and steal 2. How do you set this up? 100% get those amber off the Paraguardian. This game is nowhere near in the favor of Alberto as I had expected. She has played that so damn well. Still leaving that Kronos on board, knowing the value of the draw pips that she can get. And she knows she can push because there's no scaling amber control in her deck that she's given to Alberto. So we'll see what happens. His response, he hasn't played Logos in quite some time. Well, he did play Logos last turn, actually. Yeah, he did play Logos last turn. Perhaps he can set himself up for an Edeye sweep to archive a bunch of cards, slowing down this momentum. No, going into Star Alliance. Unsure of what options he's going for. Perhaps he's just trying to force the game to get into a key 3 situation. Key 2 situation. Or he's just getting rid of creature control cards. My goodness. That was a turn that he had to take. He had to make it regardless of how stressful the Amber generation was from Not Tonight's perspective side of things. Because those were just going to keep cluttering his hand, and he really needed to get them out so he can play have more tempo over the rest of this game. Not Tonight again, pushing into that 8 Amber range with the cutthroat gone. She knows she's in a much safer position, knowing that Alberto needs at least one archive like he does with the Tao Tao and the Ed-Eye to take her off check. See, as I said before, I thought she should have played Logos much sooner, but she knew what she was doing. She is quite a competitive and strong player. And she was planning, well, looked like she was planning for that turn to get the most value out of the steal and the bouncing Death Quark while killing the Odawak at the same time. Could not have asked for a better line of play for this particular matchup. Alberto trying to decide which cards he's archiving. Maybe he can get that Jar Goggle played like Not Tonight did in the last game, where the Crassosaurus is underneath. And there's the Ed-Eye, putting him into a position where she is not forging that key. An unfortunate Thorium Plasmate. Doesn't get any value, just gives him a pit. But he does get to draw 6 new cards, so hopefully getting an Ed-Eye in that redraw, or at least some tributes, could also be beneficial here. It's still anyone's game. Are we about to see a Savage Clash, perhaps? Most likely. We haven't seen one the entire game, and with the board currently favoring, yes, there it is. Kills everything, probably except the mini group think tank. Well played. Archiving one more card. Wow, getting that Ghost Hawk value. Allowing to capture 1 Amber. Taking the most advantage of all the Amber controls she can. And then buffing those creatures to allow it to be even harder to get rid of. And again, she's put herself at 10 Amber, meaning that Ed-Eye is the only counter to, or 2 tributes, but mostly just Ed-Eye is the main counter to what she's doing. Because 1 Ed-Eye will put herself into... Oh, that's unlucky getting the Song of Wild now. I mean, I don't think it's that terrible, because 1 Ed-Eye could be perfect for the number to put her to 11 Amber. And if an Ed-Eye comes out, she can prevent, that much. 11 as well. Fantastic lines. However, due to the lack of Amber control in that deck, there is a possibility for Alberto to come back in this if he can keep just holding off this key. This key is probably more important than the final key. I mean, the final key is the most important, but I think one of the ways to win this, that he can win this game, is by slowing down this key. Ooh, but he takes his cards out of his archives. What did he archive that made this such a hassle and made it difficult? I think it was the Crassosaurus. I think he was going for a similar line that Not Tonight went for last game, where she put the Crassosaurus under the Jar Goggle. There we go. It's Legionary Trainer. protecting that precious Crassosaurus in more ways than one. The question is, do you play the tributes that are most likely in his hand? Wow. This game is just back and forth, but that's all the amber control gone out of not2night's deck. So all he has to do is just keep her off this key as long as possible, while forcing to get to check the next turn. Both players have a clear path to victory, but it's about who can get their pieces to line up first. Really exciting game, guys. This is just what Keyforge is about, right? The back and forth, turn by turn. I can see why play City State and Tribute. That's a ballsy move. It's not saying it's the wrong move. Perhaps it allows him to get through the draws a bit better, because he wants to go into maybe Logos, perhaps. Plays Group Think Tank, Bot booked in, sloppy lab work. Discards Ambassador Lu, plays Discombobulator. Unfortunate turn. Now he just has to... Alberto just needs to push this key. It's the most important time to be pushing Amber now. My goodness. I've gone back and forth thinking that this game was controlled or favored by one player or the next, but it just keeps proving me wrong. So there's no point in me thinking that one player is more likely to win than the other, because it's just back and forth and back and forth. Kind of feels like the NBA where they played runs, where it just seems like it's a game of runs at the moment of, I'm going to push to get this many baskets, this many points, and then now it's the other team's turn, and then it's my team's turn, and the other team's turn. It's just back and forth. Both players thinking through their turns, trying to play at the highest level they can. Exciting business. What do I think that... So he's going for Star Alliance, perhaps to remove some junk from his hand. Not necessarily junk, but cards that aren't going to gain massive amounts of value. Because we've already seen a lot of these Tachyon Pulse, the Quintrino Flux, Red Alert, Zap. Seeing some of those upgrades. So ideally, he wants to get the Star Alliance cards out of his hand to push for the best draw on the next turn. Well done. Archiving the most important card to protecting that Crassosaurus. Man, what kind of what kind of chains would this game require for it to be even? Like, it feels pretty even as it is. I'd be surprised if anybody takes it for more than 4 chains. I was wrong. There's more Star Alliance cards than I initially expected. So 4 Star Alliance cards there. Drawing 6. One of them definitely an Ed-Eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 of those are the logos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, and 2 is Saurians, meaning the last one's a Star Alliance card. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, yeah. So 1 Star Alliance card, 3 Logos cards, and 2 Saurians cards. One of those Logos cards being an Edi, another one being a Titan Guardian, and I believe the last one is the second Tower of Apis. Going into Untamed, we haven't seen the second Savage Clash, so perhaps there is a... Perhaps Not Tonight is finding a way to clear off this board. The tricky thing is that she can't use Dark Fairy to fight off the ward of Trisyrian Legionary because the Arms Master Melina has given it 3 hazards. And it's made it elusive because of the cloaking dongle. At the moment, Trisyrian Legionary is the highest powered creature on Alberto's side. So the Savage Clash is going to take the ward off of Chrysosaurus, but it's going to leave it on... Oh, which one did she fight? If she's fought the Trisyrian, there's going to be a misplay. Yeah, I don't think she realized it was hazardous. Oh, unless she was... No, because that doesn't deal with the ward. And they are banned. And they are banned. And they are banned. Wow, we just had... we just had 3 spam bots in the space of like 2 seconds. My goodness. Sorry, I missed it. Oh, getting rid of that Ghost Hawk was clever because you can bring it back. Again, I think I would have... I guess, does it get rid of the elusive? I guess it does. Does the elusive happen at the same time as hazardous? I always forget. It might do. Because the second one, the Ghost Hawk definitely did some damage into the Trisyrian Legionary. Do we draw the second Savage Clash? Nope. This is tricky. I think Alberto just needs to go Saurians and push this key. I guess there's a Capture Pip. There's a Capture Pip in Star Alliance, which is a problem. And the other problem is the Demo bot with a bouncing Death Quack. So if they can push to 7, that's it, I think. I believe that would be it. with only getting to 5 amber there. Chrysosaurus Reaps getting that much needed amber, stunning the Dark Fairy. Pushing even harder with the Senator Shrix, playing oh, there's no tribute. Therefore, the only way to Starline's here, probably to play a Subdue. If they can kill off the Senator Shrix at the same time. It has to be the Subdue. There is no other way to control Amber, and that's control creatures in Star Alliance. And she went straight into it. Feel like that's just signaling to Alberto that there is no creature control in her hand. Maybe it's not even. Maybe she doesn't even have the Subdue, and she's trying to get as much value out of this Nell to get to that specific card she's after. Right now, we see the Survey discard a Lethalogica. Gains the amber from the upgrade and draws a card from Nell. Feel like she's running out of steam. Plays a stunner onto Blossom Drake, getting that extra amber with the Draxgar and still drawing with Officer Nell. We have the Damo Alien, but no way to currently kill it. Really needs that Subdue with the Capture Pip. It's the only out she has right now. Otherwise, we're going to a Game 3 of the semi-finals of the Keyforge Team League adaptive game. There's the Subdue. Gets the Capture Pip. What is she stunned? Where does she capture? What is she stunned? Puts the Capture Pip onto the Damo. Unsure if that's the right choice because it's forcing for Alberto to attack it, and it's going to net neutral amber for both players. But had she captured into something else, forcing to be fought into, then she could use the Bouncing Deathquark play like she had earlier to control at least 2 amber with the 2 steals. You got to play to your maximum outs. Although Alberto may not be able to control any amber, maybe not be able to make any amber here anyway. Realistically, he needs to make 7. He needs to make up to 6 or 7 amber. 7 amber is ideal because therefore you stop the Bouncing Deathquark line and killing your Senator Shrix at the same time. Wow. Interesting. This is so difficult. I think he realizes that no, there is actually one extra line that I'm not thinking about. Because of the upgrades. Yeah, because of the upgrades on Observing Max, they still need to get to 7 Amber. There's 2 lines that Not Tonight can go through to take Alberto off check if he doesn't go to 7. Obviously, the Bouncing Deathquark line is far superior because it can kill off the Kratosaurus and the Centerstrix in the same turn. This will be a stressful position for Alberto. He knows that there is a limited amount of Amber that he can make. And with shuffling to draw new cards, the likelihood of him drawing Saurian's cards after having 3 Saurians on board is much lower than anything else. Let me just check if Sosalt has a pip. Oh my gosh. Oh, he had to do it because... He had to do it because otherwise he couldn't reap when he wanted to. Interesting. Very close game. I feel like there is no pips and Saurians, which means he can't get to 7, so he needs to play for the long game. Or does he's trying to decide if if he can force it by going to 6 now. But that just leaves too much opportunity for Not Tonight to win the game. You need to think about the longevity of it. Perhaps there is a line that he could take where... he's so tricky. He almost needed to keep the Sosalt for this turn and then fight off that Damo alien, because then the only line that's possible is the Bouncing Deathquark Steel turn. Oh, it's not enough anyway. Don't worry, I was not quite correct. Wow. Going Saurians. Reaping. You need to stun a Starlines card here. Probably Draxgar. There we go. Reaps with a Tricerian Legionary. Unstuns the Shrix. And ends his turn. Wow. There is like 2 lines here that Not Tonight can go for. If she's got the Bouncing Deathquark Steel line, then there's nothing that Alberto can do. It'll just be game. Perhaps he's got like Double Tau, Ed-Eye, Cutthroat Research in hand. But this is getting out of... This is crazy. You almost needed to... you have to have the Logos turn. There's no... Because Alberto stunned the Star Alliance card, there is no way to kill off that Senator Shrix. So by playing... I think she's got the Bouncing Deathquark, but she's got no Damo bot. Perhaps playing that pip on Alien was a misplay. I have no idea who's going to win this game. Untamed, that's game. Song of the Wild. Alberto has won this game, and we're going to game 3. Unless there's something I'm missing. I don't think so. Remember we checked in game 1, there was no key cheat. Savage Clash was not enough. Oh my goodness. GG. We are into game 3 of the Keyforge Team League. It's going to cancel out here because they're going to go into... Or are they just going to do their bidding here? I think that's the best way to do it. Well, yeah, should bid 0. That makes a lot of sense. I don't think these keys are going to go more... I don't think these chains are going to go more than 4. If it goes more than 4... 1 chain. She should go 3 chains here, because I think 4 is on the edge. Yeah, well played. Well played. 3 chains. I don't think you take it at 4. Oh, maybe you can. Is she confident taking it at 5? 4 chains can... This game, oh my gosh, 5 chains. I mean, she is more confident with her own deck. If anyone takes it at 6 chains, yeah, 100%. There's no way that we're taking that game at 6 chains. I think 5 is already quite excessive. Because from at least seeing in that game, we didn't really see the star lines pop off. Manual mode. There we go. Game 3 of the semi-finals of the Keyforge Team League. We have Not Tonight running... Let's try it. Ms. Dranst de Castel. Ah, yeah, that was a butchered, if any pronunciation I've ever had. Then we got Marie Singularity Buccaneer. Alberto playing Buccaneer. And Not Tonight playing Castel. If I look quickly at the team league to see if this game matters. This is the first game, perhaps the second game, between the Meticulous Plazing, which is the team that Not Tonight is on, and KFPT, Keyforge Portugal team. Alberto coming in with a hot early turn, getting out 4 logos cards. Going to be quite a significant response needed from Not Tonight. Perhaps a Contrino Flux could do quite some damage. Could really set herself up to stop that mutagenic serum turn. Or even just Tachyon Pulse here is quite good. Both would be absolutely bangers. There is some really interesting lines by playing upgrades onto the opponent's cards and then Tachyon pulsing to, whoa, nope, just kill everything. Then Gwyntrino Flux. Couldn't have asked for it more. Oh, it's power based. Wait a second. What did she kill? 3 and 5. Right. I always forget that Contrino Flux is power based because Contrino Warp, I believe it is house. And I think that's a far... Oh, is it greater? I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm always going to play Contrino Flux wrong because of the newer and improved version. Nice. No player moving very quickly. The chains are pretty much gone. I don't know if Alberto's, besides that first Logo's turn, I'm unsure if Alberto's deck really took advantage of the chain difference. I mean, they did get rid of 5 Logos cards, so I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Getting 5 Logos cards out, if your draws work out well. Interesting turn. Gets Demobot's effect where it fights to draw a card essentially, put a card on the bottom, leave a card on top. Really nice filtering, especially after that early Logos. You can set yourself up so that the Logos is not going to come back into your hand for a little bit and you're just playing a 2 house turns for a couple turns. Really like cards that sort my deck for me. I think they're some of my favorites for sure. We don't see any cards get discarded from that. I always forget the difference between that and which card is it? There's a card that draws 1, discards 1, and looks at the disc and then puts 1 on the bottom. I believe it's also a match mutation. Whoa! Ambassador Lu discarding a Q-Mex to get 2 extra amber, really pushing that turn. Unfortunately, didn't get them to check. Perhaps they didn't need to fight to sort through those Logos cards. Had they reaped, they would have gotten there. But honestly, sorting in this time of the game to set yourself up for big turns, payoff turns, are very highly valued in my books. Not Tonight, going back into Logos, hoping to unstun that mini group think tank. Unsure if she will fight with this engineer or if she's going to use its ability to sort through a hand and prepare for better turns. She reaped. What did she discard? Discards the Crassosaurus. That card has been instrumental in these games. That card has been so significant. So I'm really surprised that she has played it, has discarded it. It has decided both games. Both game 1 and game 2. So I wonder if she's going for a different line that we haven't seen yet. Perhaps going for like a like a Knowledge is Power burst with the Tautais and Edai. I think she knows that her deck needs to push because and not hold cards, because Alberto's deck doesn't have Amber control. Like right now, we see one on board in the Demo Alien. Then we have the Capture Pit from hand, a Destroyed from Demo Bot, Observe Your Max, and Crewman Yorker. He chooses to go back into Star Alliance, fighting with the Demo, getting to shuffle through some cards again. Probably going to use Ambassador Lee to discard another Logos card and gain an extra 2 more Amber. Obviously stuns the minigroup thing tank. Gets a capture pip. Gets Observe Your Max onto the Ambassador and then uses it immediately, taking Not Tonight off check and putting Alberto in a better position to stop keys. Wow, plays the So Salt, which stops players from reaping, both players, until the next turn, and then takes Alberto off check. Perhaps planning for that Untamed turn, because clearly there hasn't been any Untamed cards, because there's that double Song of Wilds Ghost Hawk play that Marie can provide. That is quite deadly. Does some more searching, and then probably going to use Ambassador Lou this time to discard some cards. Because you can't reap, so why not? I mean, he could fight, but it's pretty valuable to have that Observe Your Max, as it forces Not Tonight to have to think about killing it. You know what? I didn't really think about the fact that Ambassador Lou could also capture 3 because of Sanctum and Saurians, but there's no Sanctum and Saurians in this deck anyway. So it's not like it matters all that much. Really thinking about what card's going on the bottom, one of them must be pretty important. Are we going to see the effect from Ambassador? Maybe even just an Untamed card is enough. Or did she just fight? Did she choose to fight? No, because it would have done it immediately. It discards minigroup thing tank to gain 2. Well played. When was the last time? Okay, we're going into Logos. If she hasn't got the Edeyes, she's at least looking for them. Have we seen a Knowledge's Power yet? We have not. We've already seen one Edeye was gone really early on. Titan Guardian. And gets the Edeye. Wow, that second ally is so important here. And it's protected. Although I think we're about to see a very powerful turn from Alberto with the Untamed. Oh, man. Since when did this get discarded? Oh, I missed it. I think, sorry, Ambassador Lou actually discarded Commune. I just forgot that. I just read the things in the wrong order. Alberto going logos, not what I expected. Gets a Song of the Wild off the top of the deck with a bot booked in, getting 1 extra amber. Hopefully he's looking, did I say not tonight? Alberto is doing this. Perhaps Alberto can get the bouncing Deathquack line, killing off the Edeye. Perhaps even clearing out the whole entire board. But I doubt it with the Observimax being so useful into this endgame. Do you kill the Titan Guardian here? Wow, he does. And this is where that Crassosaurus is so damn useful. But you know what? You can't hold cards. You can't hold cards. And so if that's the lines that she realized was the best, then it's the line she decided. You can't hold cards in an adaptive game when you have chains. I mean, you can, but it's very risky. So she chose that option, and we'll see how it works out. Perhaps you can redraw early enough for these Amber Bursts to not be a problem. Remember that Alberto's deck doesn't have Amber Pips, and so this is only 2 keys worth. She only has to push ahead to stop that 3rd key. Not tonight here, going Saurians. Perhaps getting that, or getting out of Shrix. Deciding if it's worth risking. No, she does not. But she does get a City State off to get that 1 amber. Unfortunately, no tribute that turn. I think the tributes are all gone. There is still 1 more tribute to. Unfortunately, no tribute that turn to gain the most value for that Strix. Actually, no one's chatting at the moment anyway, so we don't even need that on. It's the wrong time of the night, guys. Are we gonna see a Savage Clash here? There we go, Savage Clash. Still has 1 more in the pocket. Forces the game into perhaps a 2nd key. Uses Resurgence to return Dark Fairy to their hand. Is it the only card? And Damo Alien. Remember that Damo Alien is the one that if it gets destroyed, it steals 1. Getting to 7 amber, dodging that Cutthroat Research. Unfortunately, we we won't see a line. We won't see too much more aim control left. But at least with this, oh wow, just dodging that cutthroat, not drawing the, whatever the card is called. The card is called Knowledge is Power. With Ready playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Logos cards. Still 2 Logos cards to come. Missing out on getting the most value out of that Logos turn that she could have asked for. Unfortunately, that's just what happens with draws. We can't decide them all the time. We can't decide them ever, actually, but we hope to draw for the best and we can do what we can with what we get given. Alberto going into Untamed, getting Song of the Wild to reap with Blossom Drake, and hopefully fighting with that Dark Fairy, forcing a check, making that Logos cards now not possible to take off unless there is an air control under Jar Goggle. She can't call Logos for the rest of this game until she redraws just if she wants to take Alberto off check. I'm not even sure if there's anything else but the tribute left. There's the tribute. No creatures to go it with. Has to put it on Jar Goggle. But gets the Tricerian Legionary and wards it at the perfect time. And the Imperium to ward off that Tricerian Legionary. I think she made the right call to ward off, to put the capture pips onto Jar Goggle. Because Alberto cannot fight it. If he can't get himself into check this turn, then Not Tonight's going to get the perfect opportunity to take advantage of that Logos turn to get through it and hopefully draw into the deck. Although she will only be drawing 1 card. So maybe she decides to keep onto the Logos turn. She's clearly been archiving Star Alliance cards here because we haven't been seeing them and there's not many cards left in the deck. Alberto playing a Nell with a draw pip. If we haven't seen many we've seen some upgrades, so there's not going to be a lot of value out of this upgrade turn, but enough to at least draw a card there. Get to that Demo Alien, which was so troublesome earlier. And the Subdue, getting rid of the ward off of the Jar Goggle, setting up for another Savage Clash turn soon before the draw is gone. She, Not Tonight, really needs to get through the deck here to draw to the new deck. It's difficult. See, the 5 chains made it difficult because she wasn't able to hold onto key pieces that won early matchups. Because she knew she needed to get through the draws. Look, I could be wrong here, but that's my best explanation to get rid of the Crassosaurus. And I think it is the right call, and it just didn't pan out this time. So far, it hasn't. The game is not over. tonight. Really unsure what she wants to do because she knows she's got those Logos cards in hand. If she goes for them now, she's only drawing one new card, but she gains so much value out of that. There she goes. She goes for it. She has to hope beyond anything. Thorium Plasmate here. And then Knowledge is Power to gain Amber. Only drawing one new card. If she can draw an Edi or a Crassosaurus on any Edi, then perhaps she's okay. Actually, the best option is to have drawn a Telltale Vapors there, so that you can use Telltale Vapors to find an Edi, get an extra archive, get the Edi archive, and the archives are at 6, making the keys at 10. Although I'm still not sure that's enough now that I think about it. I mean, she gets to draw 2 cards off a Telltale. She could draw both Edis, and that's like god tier draw. Surely Alberto fights the True Fairy, taking that ward. Unfortunately, not going to be able to kill that Damo alien with Savage Clash. And she's going to... Whoa, wait a second. No. That doesn't kill... You can't kill Savage Clash. You can't kill with Savage Clash now. Oh, well played. There's the Fang Tooth. That's a line I didn't see. Wow. Well freaking done. Although there is one extra card in that archives. That Telltale line is kind of beautiful. Not gonna lie. Oh, the Ghost Hawk here. Such a good play. Growth Surge too. Gonna be at 13 Amber. Okay. Watch this. Watch this Crassosaurus. Watch it. Watch it happen. Ready? She drew one card. Come on. Maybe she drew a Telltale. Maybe she didn't draw anything. Starlands. No. It is game. But so close. I didn't mean to make it seem like Not Tonight was the protagonist in that end, because I just like going for the underdog, but well played to Alberto, playing some of the best Keyforge against one of the best players. He has played this game absolutely fantastically, gaining Amber exactly where he needed to, pushing and drawing, using a Damo bot until a Damo alien to the maximum value that it could have asked for. Can't have asked for a better set of players facing off in an adaptive game. Truly congratulate both these players. Well played, Alberto. You have beaten Not Tonight, a phenomenal player. And JT Russell joined right at the wrong time, right as the game is over. But well done, Not Tonight, for getting this far. I'm not sure how the other games are going between Meticulous, Plazing, I don't know how to say that, against KFPT. But that's one game closer to victory for these teams. On one side of the bracket, we have Not Tonight faced that just lost to Aethert, which is Alberto. We have Crusader versus Drew Ribs, GT Russell versus J Philipeg. We'll see how that one. I'm not sure if these games have been played. I know some have been played in this bracket. At least we can see that B-Hawk has beaten Aurora. We'll see. I know that Quick Draw versus Ugluk happened today. Ugluk, one of probably the top 3 adaptive player in the world. Quick Draw recently making top 2 of the adaptive of the Kagi. So Keyforge as Garfield intended, which is an adaptive league. He came second in the last league, I believe. Maybe it was first, but I think it was second. Or at least. So both these players, phenomenal players. And then obviously, wow, Karen versus JDG in the Triad. These are some top quality games. But as you can see, sloppy lab work, which is both these teams, are just dominating. Not necessarily this, but doing so well as a team. Thank you again, Not Tonight and Alberto, for playing these games. You guys are phenomenal players. Alberto, you played that perfectly. I think you knew exactly where to push, where to slow down, and you just found everything you could to maximize this victory, and well played to you. Unfortunately, Not Tonight, you couldn't quite get there in the end. Maybe this is the only loss for your team, and you will see the grand final. So I'll let you guys know what's going on next. Maybe there is a grand final game to watch. At least we still have to get through these semis. But it's exciting times. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll try and upload this one up to YouTube so that we can keep it archived into the footage of the Keyforge Team League. Maybe I can get a whole highlight reel. That sounds like a lot of effort, but we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.